Welcome back to Good Moms, Bad Choices. I'm Erica.
And I'm Mila.
And we are breathing.
I'm moaning. Mila moans.
I did a lot of screaming in my car today.
Mm.
You ever done that by yourself?
I did it the other day. I thought it was because I was just lit. But I was emotional too. I remember now. I was like, and I was like, this is crazy. It was fun. But also I had a lot to release and I was alone. So I was like, this is the time. Now's the time. Maybe that's why I've had a headache for 2 days.
Because you've been screaming?
Top of my lungs down in Hollywood, down West Hollywood.
That's the most LA shit I ever heard.
I was in WeHo. I was over at WeHo Beaches. I was breaking it down and I got in the car by myself. I just had a fucking scream fest all the way down Santa Monica. Lit on the fucking tequila. You should try it.
Highly recommend. Hi guys, what's up?
Hello.
I'm high. I haven't been smoking that much, so a little bit goes a long way, I've noticed here in these just fucking smoking streets for me. It's a beautiful day. How are you feeling?
I feel really good. It's really hot in the valley, but I prefer it. And
You look very summery. You're looking very like I'm in summer.
This is like my ideal, you guys. If you don't go to YouTube because this very outfit, this is my ideal like everyday uniform. I want to wear I want to wear very short florals. Like I like floral prints and I want them to be like short and kind of like dainty and like.
I would never do this of you.
Because I never can find them. I can never find them and then they get like, I don't know, wear them out and then I can't find another one for like another like 10 years. But like this is my preferred look. Short, strappy florals.
Beautiful.
Or see-through.
Yeah. See-through, I guess. I could concur. I don't know if this is my ideal look. I'm giving like, I don't know, I cut the sleeves off and feeling like a biker.
I like that. And I have to go home and cut mine.
Little like, femme mask.
Femme
masculine.
Femme mask? Did you just make that up?
Femme mask.
Like
tapping into my bi-fun, leaning heavier on like.
It's called like a stem?
I don't know. You're the former.
I'm the former lesbian.
Yeah, you need to know all the terms. You're the former lesbian.
I'm the former lesbian.
I'm just the bi-fun of the podcast.
I'm the fairy of the podcast, the sex of the podcast. You are the bi-fun. I'm the former lesbian of the podcast. Speaking as a former lesbian from the LGBTQ+, I have to say that.
Oh my God. Anyway.
Wait, I wrote that in our book. So we're writing a book and the editor edits the shit. So I'm like, yeah, my former lesbian days. And like on the note, she's like, this may come off offensive. I was like, why? I'm a former lesbian. I'm still highly in the community, just not right now. It's like, whatever, I'll change the wording, but I meant what I said.
Oh my God. You got to be so politically correct these days. Or they're going to come for you. Everyone. All of them. We are them. Also. We will also come for you.
Oh, shut up.
Okay. Anyway, you guys, I'm done because I'm high now. And I'm also really excited, super excited, because we have manifested a guest that I've been lightly stalking. I don't know, maybe for like 2 years or so. I don't know when my stalking of you started, my love. But
I could probably look it up in our emails.
Yeah, I need to. Actually, I should have opened the DMs. It was probably like, hey, hi.
Hi, it's
with like a star, like maybe she'll. Hey. We have Imani. We have the Hood Healer. We have Ocean's Mama. We have Bad Beach. We have what else? Just,
LA native.
What do we call you? A night fairy witch.
Night fairy witch.
Ooh. Ethereal one. Earth angel. Yes. Just levitator of all things.
Yes.
Welcome to the show, Mama.
Thank you for having me.
Yes.
We've manifested you here.
We're so happy to have you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Beautiful in here.
Thank you. You're a local of LA now, or you're a local of LA. Period.
A valley.
But now you're a valley girl like us.
I am a valley girl. I love it. I just hate getting here.
What do you mean?
Like the traffic?
I know.
Well, if you stay here, the goal is to get here and not go anywhere. Unless it's after 8.
You gotta go
That's
other
the
places. You have to in order to do things.
You have to curate it at the right time, though. Like after 10 a.m., after 8 p.m.
Yeah, 7:30, 7:15-ish.
Don't go anywhere before that.
Yeah. But, yeah.
I haven't caught the sweet spot. I'm always traffic.
Like, what the fuck? You gotta start saying, no, I can't come.
Well, we had so many people so excited to have you on the show. I was telling you, we had like, I swear, like 100 people write in every type of question. A lot of questions about food. I don't know why. Do you do food? Do you cook a lot? Did I miss
do
that part?
cook.
I was like, did I miss something? Like,
They need to be asking her some more recipes.
I do cook, and I was a former chef, but
Oh,
I
you
don't
were?
really like share. Well, I do. I guess I do cook online.
What was your specialty?
I didn't really have a particular specialty. It was more artisan food, Caribbean. I tried. The chef thing didn't really work out for me, so I don't really like. I don't know. I just be cooking dinner. That's interesting.
I can barely.
Apparently,
do
you've
that.
been really cooking dinner because everybody has questions.
That was in my discovery phase. I was the kitchen goddess at one point online, so I don't know.
Oh, maybe that's why. Interesting.
I don't know.
Like you had like a YouTube?
No, I had an Instagram.
Oh, the kitchen goddess.
Yeah, I wasn't consistent. I don't know. That's interesting. I eat good. I be eating a lot.
You do? You look you just,
I don't. It doesn't
God
reflect.
just be taking care of you. Just take the rest.
I be eating good too, girl. I feel you.
So tell me about your journey then, from food to now.
Your discovery phase to
Tell me
now.
everything between your discovery phase till now. How did you become the hood healer? I don't actually know that part. I just know the part where I
I
started.
feel like I was running from the hood healer. I was trying to do everything but the hood healer, and it just was not working. Culinary being one of them, and just a unfortunate series of events. Actually, my father passed away, and I then shortly was kicked out of the house and in the streets, and just making life harder than it needed to be, and making every poor decision that I could for myself. And I just landed flat on my face. And it became a point where I just could not ignore spirit. And so, obviously work was not, I just could not keep a job. I just could not keep it together, y'all. It was like, I was really denying myself, and I didn't realize it. And I started pulling cards. I started pulling cards at Simply Wholesome for fun. I was working at Simply Wholesome waitressing.
If y'all don't know Simply Wholesome, it's like a staple in LA.
I was waitressing at Simply Wholesome, pulling cards on my lunch break. I started pulling cards for people in the restaurant. It started to become a thing. I started staying after work to pull cards. It started to really become a thing. I stopped working, but was still there pulling cards. And it was something I couldn't deny.
Wow.
It's always been a gift, but I feel like it's always been misguided.
How did your gifts show up? Like, if you say it's always been a gift, so as a child then as well, did you feel
So as a child, I would always have feelings. As a child, I would be having dreams and visions and things, but my parents did not support it. They did not encourage it.
Did you grow up in a religious household or no?
Not at all, but they just were not, it was just too much. Because it almost read as schizophrenia when I was younger. Like, they didn't know what the hell was wrong. Like, what?
Is it
I
'cause
was
you
doing all
have-
type of testing. I would just not be able to focus. I would be looking at you and hearing, and then it stopped.
like abruptly? Like, how old were you?
Maybe like 6th grade. And I think that there was a trauma thing, which I still haven't unpacked, but something happened. Maybe testing, I don't know, being excluded, getting pulled out of classrooms. Something happened to where it just stopped. And then when my father passed, it started to become a thing that I couldn't ignore.
Do you think it stopped also because you thought maybe like your lack of focus, or other people were saying that maybe something was wrong? Like it made.
Oh, definitely. definitely. I was trying to figure out what was wrong, and I wasn't trying to focus on what was right.
How did they show up for you though? Like, was it scary for you though? Like, aside from like them putting their like fears on you, like when it started showing up, is it dreams? Was it like a voice, a calling, like
I
an
used to have
energy?
I used to have really at first no, it was not always positive. I used to have really bad sleep paralysis. So I was afraid of it. And then I would have
So sleep paralysis is like when you can't wake up, like you're
yeah.
awake, right? Yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
you just feel like something's on you, or something's on your chest, really. You can't speak sometimes.
But you can't move.
I had that a lot as a child too. I had that too, and I in situations too where I would see things as well, and I got scared as well, and like until I remember when I stopped seeing shit and experiencing it, because I would get scared, and I told my parents, and they'd be like, "That's not real," and I was like, "No, it was real," and then it turns off, because I think a lot of children are open to experiencing energy and spirits, and I think probably all children, to be honest.
We scare them out of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I was definitely scared out of it.
That's so now as an adult, how do you like, you said when your father passed away, that's kind of like when it started to kind of.
You asked if I was born in or was raised in a religious household. I wasn't. God was present, but not enough. And I feel like had I had a stronger relationship with spirit, a stronger relationship with God, then I probably wouldn't have been so afraid. But I didn't have any guidance. And it was just kind of like negative, taboo. My child is strange.
Do you think as a parent now, like how would you, I mean, are you, I guess because you have a little human that you can kind of like redo this whole thing with, and actually bring so much excitement into tapping into herself and in tapping into what everybody else is kind of blocked out. Like, how do you plan on, like, I guess, encouraging that with Ocean?
I can tell Ocean is gifted. I can tell, like, she's a Virgo, and she is
like her
very,
mama.
she is very observant. She has excellent eye contact, and when she looks at you, she speaks. And so I will see her holding conversations, and I'll ask her, who are you talking to? Who is that? Who's visiting? What y'all, just trying to embrace her. I really want to embrace her.
That's so beautiful and exciting as a parent. I think even for us, like us trying to, like, I guess, teach our kids, like, just to believe in magic, believe in the magic.
Believing in yourself.
Yes.
You are the magic.
Right.
Yes.
And that it's all around us. And yeah, it's dope.
It's unfortunate that like it feels and it is that we are born with that and we're imaginative and we're playful and we can have conversations and like live out these entire scenarios in our minds. And then as you get older, you're told that like that's strange or this is weird or this doesn't exist. But like I think a part of like even this journey for us has been the discovery that like, bitch, everything we want, we really can have, like truly rediscovering the magic and like the synchronicity of life. It was like, that's why it's really easy to do this because it's fun, like I feel like I'm being quenched because my imagination is running wild and then I'm seeing it come to fruition and like, like being mothers of daughters who have the opportunity to hold on to that imaginative, like fun, free-spirited thing where it's like, who gives a fuck who's here? Like, want to dance? Let's dance here. Let's twirl. You want to cartwheel? Like my mom will cartwheel on the plaza because she didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But like instilling that in our children so early and letting them like be free in that way as little Black women in training. I feel like it's magical and it's shifting shit in a major way. Even if it seems like, just within our households, I think it's dope. Even with Luna, I'll have her pull.
How old's Luna?
7. She'll be 8. but also super intuitive and like like very sure of herself. But I have her pull cards, and then like, what does this one look like to you? Like, what if you put them together? If it was a story, what do you think that means? Like, just so she's like, just even
Trusting herself.
yeah, even as for fun, just to let her know that there are messages everywhere. You know, as long as you're seeking. I remember also like as a kid, like having questions in my mind. And then be like the next letter I see, if it's Y, it's yes. If it's N, it's no. And just like in my mind in the back seat, just looking at, you know, billboards and thinking like, well, because just being imaginative. But there comes a point where you kind of cut off the possibility of that type of magic or that type of communication with spirit, you know, or you're taught religion and you're taught it only looks like this and it only looks like if you go to this place, if you go here and congregate and you bow, you know, it becomes so structured. And I think it's important that we as adults and with our spiritual practice and our relationship with God, understand that it's an on an individual basis and it looks different for everybody, and just being open to what that looks like. Because I know we talk about it a lot on our show, and just Black people in general being so afraid of this, you know, cards or sage, you know, being in this realm. Like, it's like immediately you think it's some like demonic against Jesus shit, and it's not. It's just like the power to hone in on your power and your divinity.
I totally agree.
Yeah, I agree. Do you like? I know. How do you define religion versus spirituality? I'm curious.
I feel like religion is really constrictive. I don't resonate with religion. I think that there are aspects of religion that we can implement, you know, but I don't like the structure per se. I like the freedom of spirituality. I feel like religion also is a big separator.
Of course, yeah. I mean, I would say, of course, but people would be up in our take so much offense to even that idea, and it's like
some people take so much offense to everything. I'm like trying to watch my words. Maybe I shouldn't.
Girl, you're good mom's bad choices, girl. Say what you gotta say.
So much offense to everything. It's so crazy.
The disclaimer here is we are not experts in shit.
Baby.
Don't hold me to this shit. Like, it might come out wrong, but I'm human, and
or I said what I said,
and and I'm growing, and I said what I said.
I love that.
No regrets over here.
Do you think, like, because so wait, you were saying that religion confines you?
I think religion is really constrictive and it's confining and it is a separator, and I feel like it keeps us from really knowing God and knowing God within us. I feel like religion is a lot about external worship. And
yeah, it's like you take yourself out of
the
whole thing.
Like, wait a minute.
Looking outwardly a lot for the answers.
Right.
For help.
Right.
I was having that thought the other day. I was like, we pray so much to other things, which granted, I believe that, you know, you can tap into things and people and spirits and ask for support and ask for, you know, even more power in manifesting the things that you want. But I think, like, does anyone ever pray to themselves?
No.
Like, dear Erica, like, like,
bless me.
Listen up, bitch. Today, I'm gonna bless you, Erica. You're gonna bless yourself with this. Like, no, it's so interesting how we're always praying to something else. Even me and Milo, you know, we do these retreats in Costa Rica, and we had this one of our friends out there. She's a healer and amazing, and she does this self-devotion ceremony, and the fact that self-devotion ceremony, like those three words together.
And I think one said like maybe self-worship.
I love it.
It said self-worship.
Oh my God, those three words together. Whew.
I love that.
I'm like, why is that triggering?
Why would that trigger you?
Like, you ask yourself that. Why is the devotion of myself
Why are we
anti
triggered?
anything? Are you anti me?
Know.
It sounds like you're anti me,
right?
Like,
I want to know. I think that as a people, we are very triggered by people living in their self-devotion.
For real.
Self-devotion is just self-love.
I mean, think about, like, even I'm guilty of this. I remember, like, I had this friend, and he's always happy, and he's like, like always showing his joy. And that, like when I first met him, it was so triggering for me. I was so annoyed by him. I was like, nigga, you ain't that happy. Like, why are you so fucking happy? And then I got to know him, and no, he really is that happy.
That's beautiful.
And I was like, wow. I felt like an asshole. I was like, I judge this person for their own joy. So imagine like people just judging anyone for just living their truth. You know, it's. And I had to question myself and reanalyze myself, and it changed my perspective on so much and so many people, because I was like, how many times have I actually done that? Like, judge somebody because they're living in their shit. The fuck?
Just being free.
Well, oftentimes if we do that, it's because we don't believe we can be free. We're not giving ourselves permission to be free. And so it's a reflection of what you're projecting. Like if you're judging someone else, it's because you're probably not allowing yourself to be happy or fun-loving or whatever the fuck.
Well, it was that, and also like I'd never seen anything like that before. So because I hadn't seen someone like that, I judged it.
You felt like it was disingenuous.
I felt like it was disingenuous, and I'd never seen.
That's true. There's not a lot of representation of that.
Yeah, it wasn't even. I mean, I think part of it could be that for sure. Like it triggered me because I was, maybe like not as happy as I could have been. But really, I was like, I never seen no shit like this. This happy ass black man.
Not this happy.
Why is he so happy? Doesn't he know? The world is crumbling for us, my nigga. Like, no, but it's true. But I think that religion oftentimes can do that. It's with the lessons you take, because religion also tells you to like love all people, accept people for who they are, and like.
I feel like it just inhibits you from really like empowering yourself.
Yeah. No, it's true. Do you have any, like, in your spirituality, in your practice, do you have any like rituals that you do all the time and for specific things? And how do you incorporate that in your relationship? I'm curious, like with your partner, like, did you find a partner? Is he like a witchy man?
He's very open. He is a warlock.
He's a warlock?
He is. He's very intuitive, open to all of the things, very receptive. He's an Aquarius. Actually, I would say receptive. He's an Aquarius, but what he doesn't know and what he's not receptive to, initially, he's willing to
try to understand.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Practices, rituals. Well, I do a lot of talking to myself. We have a lot of conversation in our relationship. I feel like conversation, self-talk is important. Mirror work is important. I do that a lot. Before readings, I have like a moment with myself, kind of just doing my affirmations and setting the tone for the day, because before I did that, readings would disturb my energy. Like I would have to take a few days off. I wouldn't be able to do a follow-up. My books were looking crazy, so Hillary schedules, and it just was a mess. So this morning, this rising ritual includes mirror work, and we do like a lot of mirror, what's the word? Like mirror sex, mirror romance, just reflection work.
Oh, I love that.
Oh, because in my mind, I was thinking like
like mind me.
I was
Not
thinking,
like that.
Can you give us some examples? I thought for sure it was like
like them, like us, like this.
That's what I imagined.
Oh wow,
I like this one much better.
Yeah, we like to be in the mirror, and it's a thing. You should recite affirmations to your partner in front of the mirror.
Like you are.
Like you are. All of the things.
Give us some examples. Come
on. He was just, for a little moment, I was feeling self-conscious about my booty do, which is gone now. Oh, praise God. But I was feeling a little self-conscious, and he would just speak about my body. Like, you look beautiful. I love this. Lick this. Bite this. And just affirm it.
beautiful.
That's amazing. When you have a partner that is open, knows that's what their partner needs to heal that part of themselves at that time.
He gives attention to the areas that need it.
Yeah.
And as a Scorpio moon, I need that.
So I'm a Scorpio, double Scorpio. I realized that I need that. I didn't realize that words of affirmation were really important to me until I think more recently. And because I'm just like an acts of service. And I like physical touch. Like that's it. Like I like people to tell me nice things about me, but I feel like sometimes I'm like, okay, but like what else? But recently, in the last year, I've been realizing how much my soul needs that to feel. I feel like safe with my partner and valued, and also just in ways I think, especially after having a baby, I gained 70 pounds in my pregnancy, and so after that, I was like, who the fuck is this bitch? Like, what is this? And my partner didn't understand why I needed that at the time. Like, he was like, that's not my job to like make you feel better. Like, I've told you you're beautiful. That's enough. Like I tell you all the time. What's the problem? Like my healing wasn't happening fast enough for him, you know? And so having a partner that I think that knows that that's like what my partner needs right now. It might not be forever, but like my partner needs this right now for this part of her healing. And hopefully us as partners, we're able to do that for them. Like I think that's really important in an exchange in partnership in general, you know? So those affirmations in the mirror.
I feel like yes, and I feel like in this work, there's constant criticism. So it's special, and I feel like it's a healing thing to be affirmed at home.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, social media, isn't it interesting though? Like, because all the criticism is actually happening here at home. Like, you're on like in the world, you're not going to work really. Like, people are criticizing you all day long. You have to just like, how do you kind of detach yourself from that so that you can be, I guess, in clear vibration for the work that you do? Like, how do you balance doing what you do in social media? Because that feels like counterintuitive. And you're active. You be active. Because I'd be like, bitch, she's on live at 2 a.m. And I'll go to sleep. I'm like, she's still on live. How she's
Well, there's definitely more positive than negative. That's one. And I don't know if I do a good job of balancing. I feel like I'm really authentic and honest about when things hurt my feelings and when I need a break. And I feel like people respect that. And it's hard sometimes too, because a lot of my clients and people that I read are on social media. So it was like, I'll be over something or moved past something and it will be brought back up again in the reading. So sometimes it is hard to balance the energy, but I feel like I work it out, and I work it out publicly, which is not always the best thing, but I feel like I work it out publicly because I feel like it's important for people to see what active transmutation looks like.
Right. You don't get to see that a lot on social.
No.
People don't show that.
And that's the part that I feel like is missing on social. And so maybe you're gonna see it all here.
I also think like as like a woman, like being a strong woman and showing up like in a public space, I think people expect you to, you know, like have thick skin. And I think in ways, of course we do, but women do need to be, I've realized women do need to be poured into from their men. Like it's super healing. It's super important. Like even with Orlando, like we'll have sex and he'll affirm me. Like you're this, you're that. And then he'll even tell me to say it out loud. Like we've had sex and he's like, say it louder. Like while he's fucking me. And I didn't know I needed that until I participated with someone who was like doing that for me. And I also notice in ways where like I haven't had that even in like childhood, being affirmed is not something that sometimes makes me uncomfortable. And I almost also forget to do that for my partner and even sometimes for my kid because it doesn't really come natural to me because I didn't receive that. But when I get someone who does it, I'm like, oh, damn, that feels really good. And then I have to, it's like, it's a constant work in progress, you know, because it kind of feels uncomfortable, you know, like, you're so beautiful. God, you're a badass bitch. You have so many businesses. Like, it's easy for you to get comfortable with someone so much in love that you forget to say out loud all the things that make them special and why you value them. You know, it's like you're in routine, you're in comfort, and you're like, you know, I love you, bitch. You know, like, you know, friends, you know, you've had friends for so long, and it's like you show up for each other and all, and you have conversations, but mostly it's like sometimes we forget, you know, because I think a lot of us are walking in our masculine. We're having to walk in our masculine a lot when you've, you know, dealt with shit by yourself, had to figure out shit by yourself. It's not, you know, we're not always functioning in our femininity. And so I find like so much value in having a partner that does that for me and reminding me to show up in my feminine and to show up and be able to receive that and give it, you know? So like being poured into by your man and feeling safe by your man is so, it's almost like for which I feel like women like us, it's necessary to find that type of partner because it's almost fuel for us to go back into the world and pour it out to people.
Absolutely.
For sure. I was going to say that. I was going to say it's probably extremely healing, that part of you, and it'll continue to heal for you so that it doesn't feel unnatural for you to do that anymore, and that part of your trauma is healed and not passed on to, you know, someone else. That's really what ancestral healing is
Looks
about,
like, right?
you know, and sometimes that's activated by your partner, you know, and that's really beautiful. I love that for you guys.
Thanks.
I need to tell my nigga to do that. What the fuck? Hello?
We're doing some mirror work.
Huh? Talk to me.
Talk to me. Tell me to say good things about myself. That's dope. We have some questions. Maybe we should have some of our...
Wait, I'm going to roll this up. My wonderful man rolled this backwood for me. It's a cognac backwood, and I put like a flower blend in it because it just makes it hit a little bit lighter. And then also I want to... I like to add a little honey to the outside. Just to sweeten it up a little bit more. I also feel like it's a good time to like set an intention.
What intention are we setting?
What do you say? What do you guys want to...
Ooh. Juicy. Ooh. Good, juicy sex where your man tells you how beautiful and bomb you are.
And you tell him back.
All
just healthy exchange of positive love, healthy love, long, loyal, sexy, voluptuous.
Deep dives into your pussy.
Deep fucking makeout sessions.
Long, deep kisses.
Deep stares.
Happy tears and laughs. And then also choke me. Thank you.
Slap me a little bit, please. Choke me. Maybe with your penis now. Okay. I think it's ready to light this up now.
Light her up. Wait, what's the song? No, that was the Saint Lunatics. Batter up.
Wow, you went way back with it, huh?
Oh my God, I love that album. Ugh, they never had a second one, did they? That was such a good album. Shout out to Nelly.
I think Nelly went solo after that.
Nelly was like, fuck them. I'm a star.
He was right.
He was, and I loved me some Nelly.
I like little Murphy. What the fuck happened to Little Murphy?
You like Little Murphy?
He had dreads, right?
Yeah, he was good though.
I like Little Murphy.
Huh?
Was that
Murphy
his name?
Lee?
I was gonna say, was that his name? Like, who's Little Murphy?
I love me some Little Murphy.
We know who you're talking about, though.
Oh my God, he was the best rapper. He had bars. Murphy Lee.
He was cute.
He was kind of cute, right?
Yeah.
He was. I don't know. I was too on Nelly. That's when I was really.
No, Nelly was my
Nelly
main.
was
my
That's
main
when I was
queen.
really into light skinned men. Nelly that was it. And then when that was over, I was done.
Oh, this is so sweet. This backwood. Wow. This flower blend with this honey.
Really, every time you step it up just a little bit more.
You like it?
The flower and the honey.
I'm curious.
Okay, I can't wait to inhale because I'm gonna have such amazing sex.
Next time you guys roll your backwood, make sure you set a good intention. Inhale that shit.
Now I'm gonna get more high and more awkward. This is great. Can't wait.
You're gonna just get more high and more deep. Some of my most philosophical moments, I tell you, are high. I'm like, God, I'm so smart. Write this down. Can't move. Damn.
How do you speaking of weed and high, how do you plan on like in talking about cannabis with
Very
your daughter?
openly. Very openly. I'm not going to be hiding anything from her. And I would like her to experience it with me first when she's of age.
What is of age to you?
I feel like 17, 18.
Good luck, girl. I'm just kidding. I'm just thinking about
I feel
myself.
like,
I was bad.
I definitely was smoking earlier, but I feel like when you're honest with your children and it's not something that they feel like they have to go sneak and do, they're not rushing to go do it. You know what I mean? So hopefully, you know, we can have that experience together. But if not, I would like her to be educated and know what, you know what's what and know not to be smoking nothing weird. And, you know, yeah, I would be open with her.
Did you smoke while you were pregnant, or did you breastfeed?
Yes. I smoked my first trimester. My first trimester was actually not that bad, but it was like the last 2 weeks, baby, whooped me.
Were you getting sick and shit?
Worst nausea of my life.
The
like,
last of your pregnancy, towards the end.
No,
the first trimester.
The first, like the last 2 weeks of my first trimester, I went to Puerto Rico. We went on like a little baby moon trip.
Oh, cute.
And I thought I would be good. As soon as we got to Puerto Rico, the symptoms hit. I was extremely nauseous. We went on a vegan retreat, actually. It was a mistake.
Not
like searching the island for a sandwich.
Oh no, baby!
Oh my god, it was horrible.
Now you're trying to be a vegan.
Oh my god,
The vegan pregnancies.
No, we didn't. We did not follow through. So yeah, I was just extremely nauseous. It was horrible. My first trimester, I actually lost like almost 8 pounds.
Oh shit!
And yeah, it was like a mess. So the weed saved me.
Yeah, the weed is the mother of all things. I would say
She's medicine.
It is, but I had to take a break. The weed was smoking me.
I've never heard that. You know what?
Maybe
that's how I started to feel too.
Maybe yes, the weed was smoking me. I was just smoking to smoke, and I needed to take a break, and I needed to also be present. Well, you know what I realized too is that I was smoking through traumas. I was smoking to decompress. I was not smoking
for enjoyment.
No.
For ritual.
No.
You know, I think I saw one of your stories about not smoking. I was like, how dare she?
Yeah, they was mad about that, baby.
I was like, she's quitting smoking.
Yeah.
How dare her to prioritize her health?
I thought she was with the cannabis smokers.
Yeah, I needed to take a break. Baby was smoked out. And I realized also that I wasn't fully present for all of the things that I manifested. Like I was just smoked out through all of these beautiful things that I had prayed for and worked for and manifested, and I needed to be sober and present for them. But when I had my daughter, I breastfed, and that was hard, sacrificial, period. Oh my God, breastfeeding is such a thing. There's so many things about motherhood. There's so many things about the fourth trimester that they do not discuss, okay? Breastfeeding was just really, really, really hard, but I was committed. And at 9 months, baby, I was back smoking. And I realized that marijuana is for mothers.
Marijuana is for mothers.
It really is for mothers.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that mothers are very under tapped in market for cannabis. Okay,
I really do.
I know because
I really agree.
if you look on our YouTube right now, you'll see my shirt. This is my shirt.
We created this shirt.
Sex, weed, wellness, because we are advocates for mothers smoking weed because the bitch needs it the most.
I love that.
We really do. I think for me, I've become such a more present mother.
Mm-hmm.
I've become a more tolerant mother. I become patient. I become happy. And, I think, but I also know that there, for me as well, I had to acknowledge a time where I was like, okay, I need to I'm overdoing it. I feel like I'm tired. I'm unmotivated. I just want to sleep. And also I'm in a haze. My bitch is like, huh, what happened? She be asking me something. I'm like, girl, what? I don't remember. My memory already is questionable. So I'm like, bitch, if I can't also remember 2 minutes ago, it's time. Mm-hmm. The weed is smoking me. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But I love weed, and I think weed will always be present in my life. And like you said, because I don't hide that I smoke for my daughter, and I haven't since really ever. Honestly, thanks to Mila. Mila really I've always been a weed smoker, but I came from a family that hid it. So I was like, this is what I'm gonna do because this is what we're supposed to do, right? Like eventually I'll do this, show her, but at the right age. And people wait for these like age appropriate made up benchmarks when really if you're just honest all the time you have to worry less because my daughter, she's the most responsible child I know. She ain't even when I smoke she's like, girl, bye.
Right.
Like she may dabble in weed and but I think it'll come much later.
I don't
because
see it. I don't think she's going to.
See?
She's
yeah.
not.
No.
I don't think she's going to be like, I don't see it happening.
She'll be a drinker. I don't know.
I don't see her doing that. She's like
perfect. But yeah, there's just a lack of interest in it because it's always around, or there's an interest. I mean, hopefully she'll take interest in some of the things that I've also normalized too, just like ritual, like
right,
like spirituality in my house,
right.
like joy, dancing.
Right, that's not the only thing she's picking up.
Yeah, like being loose in your, like just letting shit go and like not, feeling like, oh my God, people are looking at me, So it's just being mother is such a cool job.
It's really the best. Ocean is such a mirror already. Whew. She's so meticulous and wants things her way. And I see that in myself. And I've been doing a lot of releasing and reflecting in this 12-month or 11 months since she's been Earthside.
What do you think is that like the biggest lesson then? Like, or what is the biggest lesson so far?
Yeah, just like letting go. Letting go. And yeah, letting go. You need help, that was a big thing for me. Letting my partner help, letting my partner's family help, embracing that, recognizing the necessity of a tribe. And that I can't be present 24/7 and I can't control every moment. And I'm at a point now where I don't want to. And nurturing her, I feel like, has really just put me in a space of greater reflection.
Yeah.
It's like habits also you think about, it's like, I don't want her to pick this up. I don't want her to be anxious or nervous going places, you know what I mean? Or feel weird about people,
Right.
So it's just giving me like, bitch, check that shit. She all right.
She's fine. Yeah.
She's okay. Yeah.
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that because I think, it's easy to go in mama bear mode and want to control shit and, call out someone else doing the wrong thing for your kid. But it does take a level of surrendering. And then, like you said, examining, do you want to have an independent child that has the ability to separate from you and enjoy other people and be social? And like that, like people forget that, like, no, drop that baby off so they understand that it's okay to be with other people and spend time with other people, because I think that transition from pregnancy to motherhood, it's difficult and people don't talk about all the levels of it, but like relinquishing control and giving yourself a break.
I observe just in mothers in general not having a break, but mostly because they don't give themselves, they don't allow it. And one thing that I really try to do is uplift and empower my partner. Like, I just want you to feel like you're the best dad. I don't want you to feel like you have to call me for any little, you know what I mean? I want him to feel very confident in his fatherhood.
Yes.
And I feel and I have recognized how that has freed me. So I could be here and not on my phone, like
worried.
Make sure, because he's a present, awesome father and a confident father, and that allows me to be confident in other spaces.
I love that. I think more women need to hear that because we don't do that. I feel like a lot of women are guilty of that, like thinking that their partner is like almost almost treating them as inadequate. It's like, well,
like
why did you?
incompetent.
Yeah, like, why did we have the babies with the person?
But then
that...
it's like, what is that teaching your child?
Right.
Right. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's important to we gotta nurture the dads too. I was thinking about like, do you consider yourself like I mean I know people like to put titles on things and stuff, but like a healer, an intuitive, a
honestly
messenger.
hate the healer title. It was just like dubbed to me, and I'm sticking to it because I got paperwork and shit now, you know. But I would prefer Imani. I prefer Imani.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
I am psychic. I do have those gifts, but I don't really like that to be my identity because it's people don't know how to be receptive to that.
Right. No, I was just curious about that because I know that is a term that gets thrown around a lot. And I was like, I wonder what she like, because on your profile is Astrobay. And I was like, you know, some people usually have like, it's their LinkedIn essentially. I told Mila, like anyone could be, I could be a dual.
Astrobay me over the hood healer.
Astrobay. Yeah. Because you've have these abilities. That seems like, I mean, I don't have psychic abilities. I don't think sometimes I feel like sometimes I see things, but like, nothing like the world is going to like where the state of the world will be in like a year.
Yeah, you do.
I have fears.
Maybe your fears are inhibiting your ability to see, but I feel like you see.
I see things, but I guess I'm thinking that you're seeing.
I feel like as a mother, you have a very special fortitude, and maybe it's ignored, but you have it. I also, there's been times where you were like, maybe we're not going to go on this trip, or we're not going to do this. And, you know.
No, for sure I have those. I more so think like I've read some of your posts where there's like predictions of like larger like scaled that affect like a large community of people versus me saying as a mother, yeah, I don't fuck with that person for me in my life versus like knowing outwardly how things are going to, I guess, shift in society. And when I say I have fears, I know we're shifting. I can see it and I can feel it, but I don't have like exact, maybe not even exact, but like clear visuals of the manifestation that might happen. Is that what yours look like when it happens or
it's
no?
Not always a clear visual, but sometimes it's like scenes. Or I'll just hear things like 2018, I kept hearing to cancel my gym membership. Cancel the gym membership. Like I don't even really fuck with the. I mean, I was going to the Equinox. I missed the Equinox. I was going to the Equinox for the steam room and the accoutrements when I was living in New York. You know, that was the thing, like to, you know,
reset from hard ass New York.
Just like I need to just take a shower and get
midday.
Yeah. It was nicer than shower at home, so I feel like that was a personal investment. But anyway, I kept hearing that, and I heard it all the way until 2019. And in a reading, when we were, I feel like the theme of the reading was a preparation. Just like I was just saying all these things to just prepare for. And one of the things was cancel the gym membership. And then the pandemic happened, and there was no need for the gym. And you know, we learned that our home can be the gym, our yard can be the gym, and we saved money. And I feel like
you did.
That little extra savings helped me along in that time.
Of course, that once, I don't know how much Equinox is in New York, 185, 200?
Maybe Equinox is a little coin.
Yeah, every month.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't know. I feel
so it's not always clear. It's just be little things, and that's sometimes the crazy part.
Well, you have to be open to even recognizing and hearing the calling and the voice.
Yeah.
I think also we come from like our society is so rigid and strict and has like taught us that I mean, outside of Instagram, taught us that like you have to have like, I don't know, you have to achieve some level of somethingness to be a healer or to be intuitive or be bold enough to just put it on your bio. You know, there's different levels. But like even before, you know, Erica and I host retreats, and we had done all the work to put together all these things. And granted, we had a community just talking, but like feeling like we need, like, I was like, okay, we're gonna do a workshop, but then what are we gonna talk about? Like, are we healers? I'm like, I think bitches are healing. Looks like the bitches are healing. But it was really just in like the healing of ourselves and talking things through ourselves. It's like not this necessarily like superpower, but in being true to ourselves, that was the superpower, into relating to other women, and then like having a testimony and say like, this is what we did. This is how we tapped into our ancestors. This is how we tapped into our own spirit, like our own magic, you know, and how we manifest. But I think so often we question it because we assume we're supposed to have some big, and I'm not suggesting everybody go buy tarot cards and like get on the internet and start accepting money and shit, but I think that there's a level of believing in the magic in yourself versus having to, like, you know.
I think that's really what it is. I think that's a spiritual initiation, is believing in the magic in yourself. And for some people, it's like how the audacity.
Believing the magic in yourself.
Yeah.
Well, it's the same. It's the same as that self-ceremony, self-devotion. It's anything related too deeply to self is deemed demonic or scary or weird.
But who knows you better than you? You know if
That's
you got
the whole thing.
You know if some shit, you know. You already know. But like, it's in denying that you don't get what you want, because you're denying yourself. You're denying your magic, and it won't open up the spirit's path for you if you keep.
And people prey upon that. There's other spirit. There's people prey upon your unknowing and disbelieving. And we see that a lot on Instagram now with all these fake pages and people soliciting. I don't know if that really happens to you guys.
I like what trend.
In your corner of it's a lot of the readers on Instagram are
Catfished or what? Not cat. Like,
they make fake pages
and then they solicit people to get ratings.
Yeah.
and
Oh, yeah,
people give them money, right? And so that happens to people who are struggling with a level of discerning, a level of believing. And there's a lot of people who are looking externally for guidance, for the magic that really resides within us. And I think that's my biggest issue with the spiritual community. And that's why I really don't want to be associated, because my message is that it's in you. It's in you. You don't have to seek it anywhere. And I spend the time online because I really enjoy it. And it's beautiful to see that believing start to happen in people, and people empowering themselves and, you know, doing their thing. I really love that. I love to see people living in their magic.
That's beautiful.
That can be very repulsive to someone living in the dark.
It's true.
Mm-hmm.
That's so true. I mean, I guess that's a good way to look at social media too, is like being able to view those parts of people's evolution. You know, I think that's why even people like the podcast, because you can see literally a visual evolution of something that you're seeing grow versus like, you know, the dark internet and the toxic shit on the internet that you don't want to see. But I always tell people, like, follow who you need to follow, unfollow who you don't need to follow. Like, you can curate what you see even while having to kind of surrender to this thing called the internet that we can't kind of ignore.
But you can still create your algorithm.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's important. Well, I'm so happy you're on my algorithm, girl, because I be seeing, I'm like, oh, the Hoe Taylor posted. Let me see on her. What's she talking about here on her live at 2 a.m.? Oh, she's talking about this song too.
You always have a message, right? Right. As soon as I need it, I'm like, she's talking to me. Speaking of messages, do you have an affirmation for our people today?
As long as you have breath, you have options.
As long as you have breath, you have options.
Yes. You're never powerless when you are tuning into the breath.
As long as you have breath, you have options.
Started with breathing, right? So I think that was,
Yeah, definitely.
That's true. Always another day. You don't like it from yesterday, change it.
True.
Tomorrow is a new day. We asked our people to send in questions for you.
I heard there was some questions.
We did. Do you have any that you? There was one that I liked a lot. Let's see. Oh, here was one. How do you navigate your child's birth chart to help them in their lives? Is that something that you do, or you just let them do their thing? Because I think people assume, because you talk about astrology a lot, that
I feel like there's a toxic astrology happening. And I've been retracting a lot of my statements. Actually, yes. Okay. I feel like there's a toxic astrology happening, and I feel like people are using astrology to possess people and not necessarily learn them. And when you are going by a definition and a child is expressing something else, I feel like, and by going by definition, I mean by reading the birth chart. Yeah, there's things that can help you understand the archetype, but I think it's just really important to let your kid be a kid and get to know your kid, because everyone doesn't express the same within the zodiac. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah. Toxic astrology.
I think it's like a thing.
Well, I mean, whenever you start creating apps for the stars and the moons, I feel like we get a little scary over there. You start seeing the same notification. I'm like, girl, you said this 2 months ago.
Are you a birth doula?
No.
What is this question?
Mm-mm.
What do they ask?
Questions on being a birth doula, helping women through birth. Happy face, happy face.
No.
Did you have a doula?
Birth. I did have a doula.
Were you in the hospital?
I had a doula and I had a midwife. I had not the best experience. I one of those all kinfolk and skinfolk type of situation, and I chose Black midwives because I felt like I needed the nurturement of a mother. Like I needed some maternal energy through this experience. And this was my first, obviously my first birth, never gave,
Right.
I needed to, I felt like I needed something that I really didn't, but I just felt like I needed this maternal energy. And long story short, I dealt with a lot of medical negligence. And I just felt like I wasn't going to have a smooth birth unless I switched midwives. So I switched midwives at 37 weeks, gave birth at 38 weeks.
Girl, oh, wow.
And my midwife was actually an angel. But maybe after 45 minutes of giving birth, Ocean had to go to the hospital. She was in the hospital for a week. And she had an infection that we still don't know. We still really don't know what went wrong. We just know that there was many opportunities for it to be corrected, and it didn't happen. So it was just horrible.
Wait, so you birthed at home and then went to the hospital?
I birthed at home, and then the paramedics came while I was in another realm, laid on the floor, and went to the hospital. She was not breathing. She wasn't responding fast enough. And so she was there. But I did have a doula, and that really helped because I was terrified about, the vaccination process and just being a Black mom and having a Black baby in the hospital,
Especially when you intended on just having a home birth and not even having to do that. Do you feel like that happened because of the midwife you had initially for the first 37 weeks?
I feel like it really happened because I was not trusting my intuition. And I was feeling like I needed something that I needed something that was not really attainable. It's nobody else could be your mama.
But you're trying to, you can't hire that.
And we were just not aligned. And I suffered through the majority of my pregnancy wanting an experience that just wasn't aligned. Yeah. So I learned a lot too. And I also learned that when it comes to health, do the best thing for you. It's not always about trying to work with your people.
Wow, that's I'm so happy you shared that story, because there's so many, so many things can happen in birth, and I'm always like, home birth. But everybody, I think that's the thing about birth. It's like the first introduction to motherhood, and it's like, surprise, bitch. It's gonna look however way it's supposed to look, and you kind of have to submit to your intuition and to just whatever happens, shift and be open to that shift. And I'm grateful that like Ocean's okay, you're okay, and you had the opportunity to get transferred to the hospital, and letting go and allowing that process to happen
Motherhood
too.
is that first lesson. I feel like most mothers learn that lesson early. You learn it eventually, no matter what.
Yeah.
You will learn the fucking lesson that you have to surrender, and you can either fight against it, you're going to go nuts, or you submit. And a lot of times it's at birth. That's when the lesson happens. I know that was what it was for me, because I had a C-section and it was unplanned. I had not mentally prepared for it. I was just new. There was no way. I was like, I'm not manifesting that. That's for sure. So I thought me manifesting the birth I wanted meant me ignoring all possibilities of anything else happening. And I had learned early that's not how it works.
No.
Not
at all.
That's not how it works. Like, that's not even really how you manifest. You don't manifest by just simply ignoring, like, I guess preparing yourself and being open to the possibilities and be excited about all of them. Like, I was so steadfast on like the experience that I wanted to have, which it's like, I feel like there's like how do you tote the line of like being extremely intentional about what you want when you're manifesting and saying, this is what's going to happen, this is going to be the end result, versus like being totally unprepared for any other result, you know what I mean? Like when you're manifesting, like how do you do both?
I mean, I think you just have to know that it doesn't always show up exactly how you envisioned it, but it shows up exactly how you envisioned it. It may appear different, but it is what you asked for, type shit,
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just a lesson.
Like, bitch, you asked for a baby, you got one, okay?
And sometimes it's just a lesson like, bitch, you're not having a home birth. It's not happening. You are going to the hospital.
It's a lesson in release.
Yeah, sometimes it's like,
surrender,
nah, bitch.
yes.
Nah.
Back to the surrender.
No.
Right.
Just no.
Yeah, but listen, trust your intuition. 'Cause I feel like if I didn't switch midwives, it would have been horrible.
Yeah. What was birth after? Like, what was it like after for you? And like the days after, and like, was that like a big shocking shift for you?
Again, releasing, because I planned to be home. I wanted to be at home, not running back and forth to the NICU unit. And that was kind of traumatizing for me, because we did not want her to have to deal with some of the vaccinations. And they were just like, when I tell you everything that could go wrong in the hospital went wrong that first week. So it was really hard. And then also in the public, there was that situation with that child who was like medically kidnapped.
Oh, yeah. That was fucking horrible.
Oh yeah. Oh my God.
So I was just like baby, it took me about a month to really acclimate.
Do you think that affected any like part of your mental health? I know like people were there was a controversy
Did you have postpartum?
There was a controversy on the internet about postpartum
Yes.
and your views on that, and whether, I mean, did you yourself, I mean, obviously you went through something for sure. I mean, but that, like, we had that conversation off the mic when I was saying like, there was something, but I had a lot of other factors happening that were also stressing me the fuck out.
Yeah, and I think it's really important to be honest about those factors, because postpartum depression is such a blanket diagnosis that we can get lost in. I feel like I was doing a lot of work prior to Ocean coming Earthside, just because I just didn't want to have the same experience that I had with my mom. and I was really conscious. I was talking earlier about having to release and call in the support. I was really conscious that I had to be conscious of the fact that I have to design a life that is going to work for me and Ocean. And if it doesn't work for me and Ocean, it's not going to work for us. Mm-hmm. So, what was the question again?
Wait, I asked postpartum. Did you have postpartum?
Yes. So, I think because I feel like I'm still in a postpartum period, but because so many things,
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because so many things, I feel like I focused on. The real thing for me was having to deal with the fact that my birth didn't go the way that it went. It wasn't like, okay, what's my purpose now? Or how am I going to get back to work? Or, it was just like, damn, like, I really had a fucked up. This was not the fuck, and I still have to pay for this shit.
That shit, this shit, yeah.
Yeah. So I think that there was a little bit of blues about that. And then also having to deal with the fact that my parents are not here for this experience. And there's so many things that I wish that I could talk to them about now. And so there is a little bit of blues about that. But I just think that that's normal. And I feel like having grievances having grievances is normal. Having a child and having these things still unsettled is normal. It's okay. But hiding behind postpartum depression, I don't think is progressive. Saying that my issue, I feel like this since having the baby, that's not really true. And if you're not honest about that, how do you fix it? And I also feel like Black mothers, we can't hide behind those type of labels, because I can't go to a physician and say, I'm dealing with postpartum depression, I'm having these dark thoughts, and go through the same channels that a white mother goes through.
That's true.
Absolutely
That's
not.
true.
You can't. No.
And that shit proves it. That situation that you just talked about proves that.
Yeah.
I think a lot of times the postpartum, or for lack of whatever, this label and this word, I think that, postpartum, the word actually only has existed for, I don't know, probably not that many years. Like, this is not some new discovery within birth, you guys. Like, women, when we have babies, we need to be taken care of. There's a community that is supposed to be built in for the mothers that isn't, and there's a shift that happens. And a lot of that shift can be sadness and things of that nature, on top of, if maybe you're not a mom, that maybe you're a working mom, like now you have to go back to work immediately. You have to be taken away from your baby because you have to go back to work. It takes
having a child to realize how unsupportive society is to mothers.
Mm-hmm. I have a friend who, where does she live? She lives, I think maybe it's Sweden or something. She had her baby here, and she was like, you guys treat your moms terribly here.
Horrible.
She went back to work. Went back. She was like, I'm out.
But it's a reflection of our society. Like, look at how the society treats the women in the society, the mothers in the society, and look at the shit that we call fucking ice cream in America. Like, that's very true.
Yeah, it's like we need the tribe, we need the community, and if we don't, we're gonna be sad. That's what, like, we will. We'll struggle. We'll have a really hard time. Is there gonna be chemical imbalance? And I'm not like saying
there is that.
Hormones are real.
I'm not
arguing whether or not physical things happen.
And I want to be very clear. The physicality thing is real.
Yeah.
You're feeling like your coochie got hit by a Mack truck. That shit is real.
A whole human has dispelled from you.
Engorged boobs is real. Waking up in the sweats and all of that is real. Trying to re-identify yourself is real. But I feel like if you can do the work before having a child, and I'm just so passionate about this as I do, I'm very passionate about inner child work. And I feel like if you are dealing with postpartum depression, what is your child dealing with? What is your child feeling?
What do you, do you mean like in the ways of like because their mother is going through this, or because
if you are feeling uneasy, what energy is your child picking up from you?
Absolutely. I mean, even when you're pregnant with your baby, you know, the energy that you keep is important.
Right. And so my mom was anxious around me. And so now I'm anxious and now I'm unconfident. And I don't know where I don't know where I adopted this behavior, and it's usually in childhood. And if we could start before having the baby and get clear about a few things, I think that a lot of the sadness that women feel is relationship and lack of purpose. And those things are hard to straighten out when you have a child.
I agree. I agree that generally there's some pre-existing shit that you've ignored. Mm-hmm. And getting pregnant and having a baby definitely doesn't make the shit easier to deal with.
Nothing.
In fact, having a kid will for sure have things come up. You'll for sure start to think about your relationship with your parents. You'll for sure, even if you're not intentionally, it happens. Mm-hmm. Subconsciously, shit starts to come to the surface. And in a lot of ways, I do think because like motherhood it's triggering, but it's a healing journey. It's a rite of passage. And sometimes like it is easy to accredit that to postpartum. Because I had friends tell me after I gave birth, like, bitch, you were depressed. And I was like, no, I wasn't. They're like, yeah, I remember, you know? And I was like, I don't. I disassociated. I thought I was great, you know? But there was shit before I got pregnant with my relationship and feeling like I not like fully confident about my purpose I was in. And now you add a pregnancy and a child and the transformation that motherhood adds to that. Mm-hmm. And shit's going to be very fucking confusing.
Yeah.
Shit's going to be very like the way that motherhood fucking snatches you up and pushes.
Also the way that we shame women for having relationship problems with the person that they've chosen to have a child with, and the way that we shame women for not having a sense of direction and purpose in life, or how we shame women for wanting to be more than being a mom.
Girl,
all three.
It's such. I didn't realize it until recently, like just doing this work, that being a free woman triggers men. I've literally seen like, it's almost like it hurts them. Like it's like an alarm. Like they'll like start talking and watch them all start crumbling and coming out the woodwork talking shit. And we did a show and it was so fucking toxic.
Pulling their dicks out.
And we literally, to this day, it mind boggles me. The statement was like, moms deserve happiness. And they're like, what? You would have thought we said they should all do crack. They were like, what? You chose to have a baby. You chose that, dad. Now you figure it out. And I was like, mothers should be happy? This is the like, it was like, you would have thought we said the craziest shit. And it was in that moment, even to this day, I'm starting to process that like, and then the comments, everybody was agreeing with it. I was like, this is nuts. But the thing is, it's like, we are so shamed into putting everything and everyone out. We're almost programmed to be fake. And if you're not being fake, you're fucked up. And it's like, no, bitch, I'm being honest. Are you listening? Just because if it's not what you want to hear, it doesn't make it wrong. But men are so delicate and have been fucking conditioned for so long to ignore the matriarch, which is the reason we have all this shit. And we're in such a deep imbalance because of it. It was just like it's the wildest thing to me, even to this day. Like, you know, postpartum depression is this huge like word because we like need a word to say like, I'm not okay.
That's the whole thing.
Like, duh, bitch, I'm not okay. Did you see what the fuck just happened?
When we really unpack it, that's the whole thing. I'm unsupported. I'm exhausted.
I need help.
There's some things coming up. In addition to that, my pussy just opened up 10 fucking centimeters. Never seen no shit like that before.
I just was a portal to life.
Hello.
My whole body is not even mine. Like, just take it.
Yeah.
But why and why do women have to say I'm dealing with postpartum depression
Because
For you to get it.
Because we have to put titles on everything for things to be important, and there's a hierarchy of importance.
And I think that's really making us sick.
Absolutely.
And in fact, you can only be depressed if you just had a baby, because that's the only way it would make sense. Or else you're not trying hard enough to be happy. You don't feel yourself again? Bitch, it's been 6 weeks. The doctor said we could fuck now. You should be okay.
You didn't even have a baby.
You don't get it yet? Here, catch the baby.
No, then it's just depression.
Yeah.
Then it's just depression.
Yeah, motherhood.
But when it doesn't get addressed, then yeah, it just becomes depression and self-loathing,
and then it bleeds into your baby, and it bleeds into their light, and it bleeds into how you, like, the cloud that you have over you when you're just functioning just to survive, instead of like really enjoying the time with your child, really enjoying your time as a new mother. And of course it's going to be, there's a lot of feelings, but when you're supported, I'm 400%, it looks different. I'm 400 when you're not worried about like basic shit, and you could just thrive and sit in it and be.
I've seen it. I think about Mo. We have a friend named Mo who lives in Costa Rica, and she left here and was like, "I'm not having my baby here in America." She's like, "I want a free Black boy," and she built a tribe out there, and she came actually recently back here too, another friend of ours, and was like, America is ghetto. I'm not bringing.
She's
my
like, they
baby
don't
here
treat
no
mothers
more.
nice. I'm like,
Yeah,
yeah, bitch.
ghetto.
And she is happy, and she is like blissed out, and her baby is fucking thriving and looks perfect. And I was like, this is what it looks like. I was like, oh, and she made sure, like, because she didn't intentionally have her child alone, but she at one point in her pregnancy decided, okay, I'm doing this by myself. Let me build my tribe. And that's what she did. She created her tribe around her. People gathered around her, and she had an amazing support system. And they understood, like,
The assignment.
role. They understood the assignment, and they all did what needed to be done. Cook for her, like they really
She had
like
a beautiful experience.
beautiful, amazing. And
That's
I was
how
like,
it's supposed to be.
And I was like, wow, you can ask for this? This is what you can have? Like, you deserve this shit. And she was like, goddamn right, I deserve it. And that was like one of the first representations of seeing that in action, where I was like, wow, okay.
But you also have to architect your life to receive it.
For sure. You have to feel like you deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you have to feel like you deserve it. And a lot of women are like, that's too much for me to ask. I can't ask for that. That's crazy. And, you know, it is crazy almost. It is crazy here. It is crazy in a
Which
very
is so sad.
patriarchy. You know, America's, you know, one of the worst. So, and being Black. Anyway, go on and on about that.
I'm like looking at these questions. Some of these are very interesting. Something about, where'd it go? Shit. What are your thoughts on masturbation?
I love masturbation. I just think that some of these toys that we were masturbating with are doing more harm than good. So I feel like masturbate, baby. If you don't know yourself, you know, who else will? Please yourself. I feel like that is a form of self-worship. I just feel like playing with a vibrator, though. We fucking some things up.
Desensitizing.
I do. And there's a lot of things. Yeah, there's a lot of correlations to cancer with the toys.
Do you use masturbation when you're manifesting at all? You ever marry those two things together?
No, maybe I do unconsciously.
Or
I'm
sex
definitely
magic?
thinking about things.
I mean, you are doing that when you're having sex with your
like,
partner. You guys
yeah, we're definitely, so maybe unconsciously, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's been a powerful tool for me, because I'm like, I feel like it really is a time where, like, my brain, when you're in pleasure and you're in bliss in that way, you're so much more open. Like, I just feel like spiritually, energetically, you're in another realm almost when you're really there, you know? And then when you ask and you're imagining the things that you want, asking for the things that you want, like,
really call it forward.
And then a lot of times for me, after I'm done, after I come, I'm like ready for the world, bitch. I'm like, let's get it. Like, like that will help me like get to it. But yeah, definitely try that. Try the manifesting masturbation.
I like to think about like the house that I want, like the house I want to fuck in.
Mm.
And then that starts to get me wet, like,
Me
and then
too,
like
yeah.
envisioning how
Sometimes
sexy
I
it's
do
gonna.
think of like environments.
Yeah,
you know?
like-
when I'm like trying to get my pussy ate on the by the baby's puddle.
You're like, let me get out of here.
I'm in Puerto Rico.
I'm not. Yeah,
I'm on the yacht.
I'm not laying on Ocean's diaper. You know? It's
Fine, everything's fine.
It works for that too.
Masturbation manifestation 101 on Patreon.
I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, I like that. Because sometimes it's like, how can you like get sexy and also think about, you know, the amount of money well, they both correlate. The amount of money you want in your account and my pussy getting wet will happen simultaneously.
I know it does. And all the money I'm gonna like spend with my lover, spending all my money.
Yeah.
Doing the things we want.
Yeah, like just like, babe, just like sprinkle the hundreds down on me while I like roll around in them and shit.
Oh my god. Anyway, wait, so is it tarot time? Should we do tarot?
It is tarot time.
Oh my god, we're doing tarot with the Hood Healer. I can't believe it. This is fucking crazy.
Finally, shit.
Oh, shit. Okay, so you pulled the Hierophant.
I did, which is interesting. I want to read it in reverse. Like the Hierophant in reverse is a spiritual teacher, also someone who challenges the status quo and is rebellious in their nature. They generally have a good nature, but they're someone who questions things. And when I think of the Hierophant, I feel like I think of like someone throwing the stone in the water, and I kind of think of myself like that. Like I feel like I just throw the stone in the water and it just ripples out, you know? And people just kind of run with these ideas that I throw out there. So I like that card. And this is a new deck to me. I feel like I might even have this deck, but I like that.
Yeah, I love
Tarot's not really my thing though.
No, what's your thing?
Just reading.
Reading. So
Yeah,
like,
I like oracle cards. Tarot, I feel like is limiting because there's definitions, whereas the oracle, you are not restricted. You can just
Interpret.
Yeah, and I feel like that strengthens your imagination and strengthens your intuition. Yeah, I feel like when I'm reading tarot, like I'm just not using my gift.
Oh, well, like me. Like I just go to the biddytarot.com.
Yeah.
It is. I'm surely dependent on it now. And you know what?
Get an oracle deck.
I'll try. I'm gonna try. This is just like, I'm like, let me just look at that. But we never do them upside down because
you don't?
then it gets crazy. I'm like, let me just do them upright. And I can never figure out like, was it upside down? Was it? I never. I'm like, who am I giving it to? Which way is it upside down? I get confused really.
Sometimes
easy.
reverse messages are positive.
Okay, that's what I was like. Let me just stay away from the upside down world. But this, I'll read the reverse today since you pulled it. In its most positive form, the Hierophant reversed reminds you that you are your own teacher. All the wisdom you seek comes from within, not from some external source of power. Did we not just say this? You are being guided to follow your own path and adopt your own spiritual belief system rather than blindly following others. It may feel unsettling at first as you make your own way, but over time,
Come on, Spirit.
you will learn to trust yourself and tap into your inner knowledge. Others may question your motivations to go against tradition, but you know deep within that now is the time. You no longer need external approval to succeed.
Yes.
You are ready to go in alone and do it your way, even if that means going against convention. Give yourself permission to trust your inner guidance system as you create your own path forward.
I love that.
I mean,
Is that on Biddy?
Yeah.
Biddy
Biddy.
they have some good breakdowns.
Yeah.
But wow, literally what we
I
just
feel like that. Yeah.
It's pretty accurate.
I feel like that's me.
use a Hierophant. What is a Hierophant exactly?
King?
King?
It's like the masculine of the high priestess,
Yeah.
I believe. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, high priest energy. Big dick energy.
Oh yes, we love that. Especially when it actually matches.
Okay.
Right. Can we have both, please?
It's like, can the thighs match the ass? Or can the BDE match the
The BDE?
Okay.
The BD?
Oh my God. Well, thank you so much for coming on
Thank you,
the
guys.
show.
I like this. I really I admire what you guys are doing.
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you.
And I feel that it's empowering to me, and I feel that it's empowering to so many women to see you embracing yourself and embracing motherhood and showing that you can do it both unapologetically. I think that's really beautiful. And as a new mom, I truly appreciate the representation and just the authenticity and the space to be that. I like that.
Thank you.
What y'all
Thank you.
doing in here?
I appreciate you for coming to fuck with us. And now you're officially a Valley girl. We're in the neighborhood.
Now you're officially a good mom who
am.
makes bad choices.
know.
You're in the good mom, bad choices club, girl.
I'm trying to make better choices.
No, the bad is not always.
Sometimes it's fun.
bad is
Sometimes the
good.
naughty choices are fun. And the ones that aren't, you
Embracing
learn
that.
from.
You know, like dropping that baby off for 3 weeks. You know, some people might say that's bad. No, bitch, that's good.
That's necessary.
Yeah,
I love
you
that.
know?
Well, then if that's a bad choice, baby.
Yeah,
Right, exactly.
That's typically what they are at this point.
Yes.
Challenging the status quo on what's bad. You know, sometimes you got to get a little ratchet on the weekends with your hood rat friends. And that's us.
And that's okay. Balance.
Balance.
So anytime you want to get hood rat with some two Valley girls in the 818, you know,
Okay.
You know where we're
we're
at.
down the street. We're right
Yeah,
here.
real close.
Can you tell the people where they can find you?
The people can find me on OnlyFans right now.
Oh, really? Okay. I'm going to have to go do the little
Yeah,
subscription.
people can find me on OnlyFans. It's all spiritual content.
Oh.
You just say
Yeah, I was hoping to see some
They're like, damn,
titties.
you're not reading oracle cards with your titties out.
No, but
Fuck, come on. No, can I get a private reading?
Content. I'm not really. I do the lives, but I don't really post too much. But I am working on some things, so tap in with me on OnlyFans. I'm kind of going like
Underground?
Going
I
rogue.
am.
Going rogue.
I'm kind of going rogue.
I like that.
Yeah.
It's cool. Sometimes
Yeah.
you gotta, get off 1 or 2 or 3.
Yeah.
Do you have like a newsletter?
I have OnlyFans.
Okay. It's the only way.
I have OnlyFans.
We will link.
Yeah.
She's OnlyFans.
I have
it.
OnlyFans. I'm the Hood Healer on Instagram. You could Google me. I'm not too hard to find, but I just, I'm a little recluse. I'm becoming recluse.
Well, you're still like in your like nesting.
yeah.
Yeah, like get a.
No, it's that, and also pay me.
So also pay me, and I feel like also it's like I'm not for everybody.
Right.
You
And
know
like,
what
I don't
mean?
need
Like,
everyone. I don't want to get everyone's energy on me and their judgments. And OnlyFans, if you really want to know what I'm talking about, you got to come over here and see what the fuck I'm talking about.
invest for the
Yes.
messages.
Yeah,
I
that's
where I'm
support
at
that.
with
And
it.
people are probably there because they fuck with you, and that feels
would
like a lot more
yeah.
of a positive space to be in, because the internet can be weird.
It's a very weird place right now.
It is.
Well,
Stay safe.
Well, stay safe out here.
Okay.
Wear protection, internet protection. What does that look like? Put them on my whole body. Well, thank you so much for coming on.
Thank y'all.
Yeah. You know where to find us. GoodMoms_bad choices. If you enjoyed this episode, if you enjoy this show, don't be stingy. Fucking like and review. Tell a friend to tell a friend. We have a live show coming up. If you're on the East Coast in Chicago, New York, DC, Atlanta, Philly, come kick it with us. Come hang out. It's Good Moms Gone Wild. And you know, one thing we know how to do is go wild. So come join us and catch us on Patreon, join our Discord. We have a huge community of moms over there. We're doing a lot of fun shit. We're sharing nudes. We're affirming each other. We're just talking our shit and connecting in a real raw space. And you can find a mom close to you, find the Erica to your Jamila. And because motherhood can be a lonely place, but we're here.
We are here. The Discord is here. It is a cool space. I fucking love our Discord.
I have like this idea that we manifest and we attract like cool bitches because we're cool bitches. So it's really a safe space. It's really like come as you are. It's really talk your shit. We be talking about the kids, but we be talking about other shit too.
A lot of other
So
shit.
it's like be
That's
like
important.
come have some yeah. I think
We gotta take a break from talking about the kids, guys.
I think
Yes.
moms think
overdo it. We
moms.
overdo
Look
it.
at Johnny.
Talk about.
I talked about that shit all day. I'm not talking about fucking Peppa Pig. I don't give a fuck what Johnny did today. Look at this dick pic I just got. How about that? See this?
How about that? Look at that.
Look at this nude I took today. I just took a lot of work. Yeah, sometimes we get lost in the motherhood, and we think that's the only way to be. That's the only way to be acceptable. If you're only talking about your kids, because now you're a mother, and if you don't, then you're a bad mom. But that's just not true. Don't forget about you. So you have to fight for that shit after you have a kid, and keep fighting for her because she's the shit. Anyway,
What's that?
love you guys.
Love you. See you next week.
Bye.
Bye.